Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Good morning, yes, good morning and welcome to this members only stream, members only chat stream as I like to call it. Essentially, 99 times out of 100 I will always do members recorded videos, but I'm kind of in streaming mode at the moment, and I just thought to kind of like reward the guys that actually support the channel, i.e. the members. I just thought I'd just do a members only chat stream today. A couple of people in the chat already, a couple of members. Hate calling you members, I find it quite disrespectful to be honest. Of course it hasn't popped up on my main thing, so ironically I have to read it off the screen here, but there's Uncle Juicy TB, Harbour Boy, Zane Hussain, so good morning there. And what I was going to say, so if any of you members want to go into the Discord, the members chat and post your team, and maybe come live on air and talk about your team like we did last night, then just go into the Discord members chat. You know where it is. I don't need to state the blinking obvious. Put your team in there and we can go through it. If you don't want to come live on air, that's fine. Just essentially just stick the team in the members only chat section of Discord, and we can just talk about the team because, like me and Jason spoke last night, essentially we are really, really, really enthused about this season. I think the last year and a half has been, for a lot of people, a complete write-off, whether this is to do with fantasy football or real life. It certainly is for me. My life has completely turned for the better, I can assure you with that, regarding my work and everything, and I'm really, really, really enjoying working with Jason again. It's been a long time coming. It's really weird that we've essentially had a year and a half break away from each other for various reasons, mainly due to the fact that my work, what do they say, work-life balance, or shall we just call it work-life stream balance, didn't exist for me and Jason. So now, due to circumstances for the good, I'm now able to do streams with Jason. I actually did, admittedly, it was like, I think it was like 5:30 in the morning I messaged Jace. When was it? 0506. So there we are there. Not that you can see it, but 0506. We essentially, why is that failed for? I messaged Jason to basically say, look, do you fancy doing a members stream this morning? Now, admittedly, it was very, very early in the morning. He's literally only just seen the message, but it doesn't matter. I'll happily do it. I'm not suffering from stream hangover. You may be wondering what the hell that's all about. Essentially, stream hangover is when you feel like absolute garbage after streaming. In this case, when we were on that FPL Gameweek the other day, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, wasn't it? I was on with Llama and Boona from 4:45, and I didn't get off the Skype call, until, what was it, 8:30. So I was on pretty much with them for 4 hours, and constantly staring at a screen / camera, whatever. It's very demanding, and the fact that a lot of my day job as well revolves around me speaking a lot now. So it was completely draining the following day on Thursday, where I felt like I had that horrible headache, and yeah, it's not particularly pleasant. But today I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling I'm not saying I'm feeling refreshed. I naturally woke up at 4 o'clock this morning. I just thought I'm not going back to bed. So feeling fresh. Went to the gym. I did some experiments actually at the gym, which won't interest you at all, but it may interest you. So, to be honest with you, Twitter really isn't it's not really a place to upload fitness stuff. That's more of Instagram or TikTok. But I was trying to experiment with some live videos. I bet it's not. Yeah, here it is, here. So I was doing some live streaming this morning. Maybe there's someone here that is a member that was... I wonder if this will work. Ah, yes. Cool. So I was doing some live streaming this morning of me training. And it was just an experiment. I then decided to go on to... to Instagram and start doing it instead. Of course, you get the spam bots. Come and send us your pics. Come and collaborate with us. It's so great. Instagram is awful. But I am trying to experiment different ways of promoting the channel, I suppose, through different sources. Now, I know Dan does it all via Instagram officially through our Twitter account, so at Elite FPL on Instagram. He did if anybody's interested, he did a live video with Penguin, and Penguin's now actually uploaded it to his own channel. So the conversation that Dan and Penguin had was specifically about Arsenal, to be fair, but essentially he's doing a lot of work through Instagram, and it's really interesting actually, seeing what Dan's doing with it. I know he's in conversation with our man Dylan and Blonde, talking about how they will be able to use Instagram. We all know how Instagram is. It's just all about essentially just eye-catching pics and all that nonsense. But yeah, it's all interesting, and I want to kind of explore the TikTok route. To be completely blunt with you, fantasy football really isn't something on the agenda for people that use TikTok. So I essentially kind of like just put out very basic videos of what I'm kind of like, what we're doing on here, like clips. And I also decided yesterday as well during the stream to timestamp various moments during the stream to then put it into the comment section so that people can just skip to certain moments. I mean, to be honest with you, there were like basic things like when Boona came on, or the bit where Jason got really genuinely irate about some prat called George, which was really, really funny actually. It was a very funny clip. But Matty T, hello mate, hello pal. So yeah, it's very, very interesting times for the way we're going to be using social media. But like I say, I think there are certain platforms for certain things, and I can assure you now that fantasy football is Twitter only. Instagram, yes, is there a following on there? Of course there is, but it hasn't got the same pull for obvious reasons as Twitter, for argument's sake. Twitter is where it's at. It's the same with YouTube as well. YouTube is predominantly where everybody uses their places to express their FPL teams. Twitch doesn't really exist for fantasy football, really. Even when we went to Twitch, don't get me wrong, we had a very loyal following that came to us, but as much as we respect the loyal following and everything, the reality is that we want more. We want to have more eyes on us, different people. We had different people last night. FPL Phillips, for one, that came on live on air. I can't stop saying that now. I cannot stop saying that. I may put up a reference, actually, later as to why I do that. I did put up something on Twitter yesterday. But, yeah, it really is YouTube and Twitter when it comes to fantasy football. So hence why we're really pushing the boat out for those things. And I will be on Twitter making sure. This is another reason why I'm trying to write things down when live streaming, specifically with Jason. It's very difficult to timestamp moments now while I'm talking on my own. It's nigh on impossible because it's a bit rude me just going, just a minute, I just need to... Yeah, it's ridiculous. So for me personally, I will be doing that with Jason because I think there are some golden nuggets. Some of the clips that I've already done one of Jason. Actually, what did I record again? I don't know if you remember this particular moment here with Jason last night. Is it this one? It's got to be this one, surely.
It's working, finally the Rock has come back.
So I'll be turning that into a funny video, and I think that there's going to be a lot of clips I'll be able to get together which will highlight the funness of the show, which kind of brings me on to, actually, I know Harbour Boy's a massive fan, but it brings me on to a very, very, very kind tweet that a friend of the show, Trigger Lips, if you don't know who Trigger Lips is, I'd be shocked, but Trigger Vips, let's just call him Trigger Vips. Trigger Lips is, I wouldn't call him controversial, but I certainly would say that he has an opinion. I pretty much agree with everything he says. I laugh my ass. There we are, Harbour Boy. There's the first Simpsons reference. I laugh my ass off when he does his mini pods. They're only like 8 minutes long. I think the longest he's ever done is 9 minutes, which is the latest one he did. But during that specific podcast that he did, well, it came up with. I mean, let me just put on my team. It came up with him saying these very, very kind words about Elite FPL, and more importantly for myself and Jen. So there's Penguin there. There's Penguin's latest thing, which you can't see because I've covered it up. Hold on a minute. There's Penguins, right? That's what the Penguin did with Dan. And I bet I can't find it because I haven't actually technically got access to this. Here it is. Here's Trigger Lips. What's going on, peeps? By the way, I'm fully aware that is a shocking impression. I can't do his impression properly. But if I just quickly put up the volume for this specific thing for you guys to listen to, but it was very kind, and specifically the fact that he was speaking about a very, very, very large podcast. It was great to hear. Morning, One Life Soccer. Jason sent me a trailer for your upcoming podcast. So I said to him, can you get it on other... Well, I didn't actually say it to him at all. I went to search on the podcast app to see if you were available. Unfortunately, you're not. I think maybe YouTube only at the moment. But yeah, One Life Soccer has got something very, very interesting in the pipeline that's being done. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, here we go.
Jason and Steve-O on Elite FPL, a lot of fun there as well, you know, just like general FPL chat, etc.
Yeah, and I do pride ourselves on the fact that quite literally we are a lot of fun on this particular channel, and it links me into what I was trying to get at regarding this season. Is really we're going to be having a lot of fun this year. The goal that we're going to be coming out with, I think, for a lot of you guys that have supported the show for God knows how many years, really you know what's coming. Without going over it, the last year and a half has been a complete blip. But this year, Is that what Ricky Gervais does? He does that bit in Extras, doesn't he? Where it's in the episode 1 with Ben Stiller, and he's speaking with the producer, and the producer's saying something, and he goes, "Really?" I find that bit so funny. Hello, Mark. But yeah, it's all good. Geordie Kev's here. Hello, dude. Morning, pal. Nice to see you back. Want to come live on air? I know Harbour Boy has posted his team in the members. Just to remind you, if you are a member and you want me to go through your team and everything, just go into the member chat on Discord and I'll happily just look through it. If you want to come live on air and talk about it, by all means. I'm just in live stream mode at the moment. But let's just quickly go through the team on my screen at the moment. So it's Batman in goal, Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's going to become Shaw. But Wan-Bissaka, Digne, Trent, Sarr, Buendia, Fernandes, Salah, Cavani, Antonio, and Tony. So the 2 Tonys up top. With Foster on the bench. Ain't Nure, Ben White, and someone who I can't read the name. Oh, Brownhill, of course. It's Brownhill. So, yeah, it's a team of pretty much guaranteed starters. I'm really happy with it. It's covering the majority of teams which have really, really good fixtures. I need to go. Annoyingly, I've done something that I should have done at the start of the stupid stream. And now I'm going to have to go through it again. But I'm just going to bring up my team on my own screen here, which makes it a hell of a lot easier. But yeah, Watford, I think, I've said it before and I'll say it again. And I'll continue saying this. A lot of teams that get promoted from the Championship that have got a really, really good defence, usually that translates or transfers over to the Premier League. Most of the time, I have seen this kind of trend happening. And it's no coincidence as well. If you remember Crazy Jack, do you remember him? Crazy Jack? Jason had a rivalry with him in the 2019-2020 season, always banging on about Meslier and... No, that would have been 2020-2021. Bloody hell. Yeah. Christ, it would have been this time last year. Oh my goodness. Morning, Karma. Yeah, so this time last year, Crazy Jack was joining Jason on stream a lot, and they were having a lot of to and throwing conversations, and Crazy Jack made a point about Meslier and said that how good he was in the Championship, and we didn't laugh, but we just looked at the fixtures and stuff and everything, and like, you're crazy, you ain't going to perform in the Premier League. Well, fast forward a year or 9 months, and surprise, surprise, Meslier was 4 points off Martinez or something like that. I'm sure I could bring up on my own screen here, but he certainly finished really, really high on the point scoring. 54. Okay, it was 22 points. 22 points off Martinez, and he was 5 points, 6 points clear, of Lloris, and only 6 points behind Edison. This is Meslier. Last season, Meslier, he got 11 clean sheets, I'm seeing here. And that's the only information I can understand. So what's that? Goals conceded 52, own goals 1, penalty saves 1. I'm assuming S means saves, so 140, and B means bonus. If anybody can tell me specifically what those letters correspond to. I wonder if you can... Oh, saves, it is. Hold on a minute. Bonus. Right, okay, I can do that. Interesting. I've just learned something live. So, he got 20 points worth of bonus last year. 11 clean sheets. Now, that does pretty much correlate to what I'm saying here regarding the promoted teams that have a really good defence. If I was to look at Watford last year, now hopefully Who Scored haven't changed their set up yet, because it's always really interesting looking back at last year, especially. Always interesting. Hey Vince, if you're watching this, Vince, got the old vitamin C out? Learn that from a death metal singer. Make sure you drink vitamin C, yeah? Watford. Blimey, there's no Watford players in the top players of the season. That's not a good sign, is it? Right. Watford. Yeah. Let's just go with there for argument's sake. Well, let's go from the 2nd of. Let's go from just to hell with that actually. Let's go from the 3rd of March. So the 3rd of March, they won 6 or 7 games, 7, 8, 9, about 10 games, 10, 11 games or something like that. Let's just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. So they won 10 games, lost 2 and drew 1. This was the results in the Championship from the 3rd of March. Watford 2, Wickham 0. Watford 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Cardiff 1, Watford 2. Rotherham 1, Watford 4. Now this is the key that you want to be looking at here. Now I know for a fact that FPL Irons was talking about Watford regarding home form. Watford 3, Birmingham 0. Watford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Watford 2, Reading 0. Watford 1, Millwall 0. Watford 2, Swansea 0. Watford 0. Now this is a friendly against West Brom. Watford 0, West Brom 0. Seems to be a pattern forming here. Seems to be a very interesting pattern indeed. And for me, based on what FPL Iron says and based on the simple knowledge that I have specifically regarding Burnley and various other Championship teams that had a really, really good defensive record coming up, I'm willing to back Watford to get a minimum of 10 clean sheets next season. Minimum. I used to do it a lot with certain players that came up from the Championship. So for argument's sake, some of the top scorers like Pookie, for argument's sake, it would be however many goals they scored in the Championship, you half it and kind of like take away 1 or 2 and give or take, you get a general idea of how many goals they're going to score. Now obviously that isn't a foolproof plan, I get that. But within reason, most of these top scoring players in the Championship, when they come up, they usually, unless they're a complete anomaly, like the likes of, for argument's sake, off the top of my head, Danny Ings, Charlie Austin, Sessions. But the point being, though, is that usually they're normally about the 8 goal to 10 goal mark. And the ones that are really freaky, they can get like the 14, 15 goals, but it's very, very rare. Even if you look at Bamford, for example, last year, ironically the year before, yes, he performed really, really well, but his expected goals and all that nonsense suggested that he pretty much should have had 450,000 goals the year before. He scored about, 20 or so? I don't have a clue. But he certainly didn't score the amount of goals that he should have done. So, point being is that I think I'd rather back Championship defenders that have had a really good season or goalkeepers than I would attackers, essentially. Unless they're proven in the Premier League. And we'll come on to Sarr quickly. So Sarr, for me, a player who in the Premier League, when he came up with Watford the first time round, performed admirably. Did really, really well. Very, very happy with his... Well, I was surprised by his performance. I can't remember specifically how many goals or assists he got. But from what I remember, he did well. He died off. And then he randomly popped up against Liverpool, didn't he? And got like a double-digit haul or a hat-trick or something like that. I can't remember now. But either way, prior to that, he was very, very quiet. But prior to that, he did really, really well. So I think that essentially Sarr, the fact that he did really well the first time round, goes into the Championship, did really, really well. And based on FPL Irons' Championship knowledge, it would appear that basically if Watford are playing a 4-3-3, you've got gold in Sarr. If they play a 4-4-2 and Troy Deeney's playing, you're stuffed. But I'm willing to put that risk on Sarr. Buendia is another one in which as much as I'm criticising the fact that he's brand new to the not brand new to the Premier League, but he's in a brand new team, by all accounts, when he was coming up with Norwich the first time round in the 2019-2020 or 2020-21, I can't, 2019-2020, I essentially found out that he was just a freak of nature in the Championship, could be one of the best players coming out of the Championship, and then when he played for Norwich that year in the Premier League, he just didn't live up to expectations. I think he's learnt from his mistakes. A lot of these players do. He's learnt from his mistakes. He went back down into the Championship, was one of the best players of the league, and now he's coming back up. Now, admittedly, he's with Aston Villa, but by all accounts, Karma Baby, I know you've asked a question, I'll get to that in a second. By all accounts, Buendia is going to be a really, really creative force for Aston Villa. I'm not going to ignore him for the opening 3 fixtures, despite what I'm saying about him trying to fit into the system. But I'm going to quickly answer that question because it's going to go. Question for you, Steve. What do you think of the format for the new Predictor League? What do you think is a good strategy for the new feature? Right. I am going to have to look at that in a minute. So bear with me. So, Semi-Sweet saying 1 goal and 7 assists. Is that for Buendia's first time season with Norwich in the Premier League? Because 1 goal, 7 assists spread across 38 games. Considering the year before, he was just a freak in nature. I think a lot of people were expecting more from him, and I suppose Norwich itself, but it still wasn't what we were expecting. It's like with the likes of Werner. Last season, you could argue, well, actually, hold on a minute, Steve-o, last season, Werner got, if we find out specifically how many goals, assists he got last year, it was 6 goals, 12 assists. You could argue, well, it's not terrible. Yeah, but for a player of his quality, it is terrible. And the fact that he was playing for Chelsea, it's all about fitting into the Premier League and adapting to the Premier League and how to understand how the Premier League works. It's why I genuinely think that Werner next year could be a force of nature. It could be one of those. I've noticed it with a lot of players, actually, that it needs a season for them to bed in. It's almost like the season is their pre-season, and then the following season, they are the player that we all expected them to be when they first joined. So, yeah, it's why I have a bit of high hope for Buendia. I mean, at the end of the day, he has got... Let's just quickly look at his fixtures here. Fixtures, and that's the wrong bloody person. No, it's not. Oh, okay, it's not the wrong person at all. They've got Watford. What is it? Is it Watford? Fixtures. Watford away, Newcastle at home, Brentford at home. It's those 2 games I'm targeting there, Newcastle and Brentford. They're the 2 that I'm expecting. I think over 3 games, I'm expecting 2 assists. So what's that? 6 points, 2, 4, 6, 12 points across 3 games. 11 points plus potentially bonus 12 points. So essentially 12 points across 2 games would be pretty good return from Buendia. I'm not going to be captain or anything like that. So yeah, I'm interested to see how Buendia performs. A lot of these players, like we discussed with Dread last night, we don't actually know who how the players are going to perform until obviously we get to see form. At the end of the day, this is all fixture based as it stands right now. They're the only facts that we've got. It's fixtures. It's like Triggerlip said. A lot of content creators that are using statistics. It's all based on a season which was a complete anomaly last year. Now you can use basic statistics, like how well Fernandes performed, or Salah, Son, Kane, etc. I think you can have a general idea that these players are of high quality, and to be completely blunt, nigh on impossible not to have in your team, give or take. But for players like Buendia, Sarr, or even more prevalently players like I don't know, whoever, like I can't even bloody think, Cavani for example, and maybe using data which suggests, well, actually Cavani's got a really good away record, when it comes to home he's terrible. Yeah, that's based on last season. I think things like that I don't think particularly looking at, unless there is some form of correlation over the past 7 seasons that suggests that Cavani actually scores more goals away from home than at home. Then we can have a conversation. But based on one season statistics, I think that it's a bit skewed, in my opinion. Yeah, so the rest of my team, Wan-Bissaka, I'm covering the United defence. I'm wanting triple United. Simple as it gets. I'm still trying to find out info on Greenwood, Cavani, but I think Cavani's the most safest bet. And it is interesting. Me and Jason did have a very interesting conversation after the stream. Sometimes I find the after show, or I like to call it extra time shows, not that we recorded that last night, and unfortunately there were some things that we would not be allowed to broadcast, but essentially, the conversations me and Jason have after the stream are really, really interesting. And I was talking to Jace about the fact that, look, the rivalry's already started. The chess game has already started. It is very interesting to know that basically you've got Jason wanting to get in Cavani. That's what he wants to do. He wants to get in Cavani, but he hasn't got him in yet. He's going with, as it stands right now, a 4-4-2 formation. And, really, he really wants to get Cavani in. Well, the easiest solution is to basically get rid of one of his defenders, in this specific case, Kufal, downgrade him and then upgrade somewhere, or downgrade somewhere else and then upgrade whoever is Wilson, for argument's sake. It's just finding £1 million there. It's why I'm kind of like very happy with. Oh, good. That's all right. Log in here. Sorry, I'm just looking at the predictor game. I'll get to that in a minute. Yes, log in. It's why I'm very interested to see how it all goes at the moment. Right, we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, my front three of Cavani, Antonio, Tony. Antoni's the interesting one. I think the fact that, hello Vince, just talked about you a split second ago. I was just saying about the old vitamin C. I know you posted your team yesterday, Vince. If you want to put it into the members chat, not team screenshots, members chat, and if you want to come live on air and talk about your team, by all means, you can do. I invite any members on to talk about the team. I will be looking at Harbour Boys' team in a minute, so don't panic, Harbour Boys. Stay with us. I know it's 9 o'clock in the evening. 9 o'clock in the evening where you are, but don't panic. We are here. We are live. But yeah, I think FPL Irons, Flapjack, FPL Dave, they've charmed me, as they say. But certainly, West Ham's fixtures are looking beautiful. And based on what FPL Iron says, I'm sorry to keep repeating this, but this is sometimes the information that I do enjoy listening to, which helps you make decisions. Look, Newcastle, Leicester, Crystal Palace, Southampton, Man U, Leeds, Brentford, Everton, Tottenham, Aston Villa. The opening 7 are really, really nice. I know a lot of people are thinking of going Bowen and everything, but FPL Irons, guess what? He is a West Ham fan, and he was basically making the point that if you are going to go West Ham attack, just go Antonio. We're talking about statistics from last season. This is something that is worth looking at. It's things like how many times a player took a shot in the box or took a shot in general, and something to do with the fact that of West Ham's attackers, the likes of Bowen, Benrahma, for example. Again, I'm probably completely misquoting the guy, but it was words to the effect of they had like 0.45 shots per game on target, whereas Antonio had 1.7. So it's things like that which I like hearing about. And to be honest with you, I think that Antonio is a really nice pick to be going in with. Tony, I don't want to keep banging on about Tony. I think we've all covered him, but I'm pretty much set with this team. I asked the question last night regarding these particular the particular players that people have. I'll be asking it to Harbour Boy and Vince, I'm sure, regarding, how many of these players are 100% guaranteed to be game week 1. Well, the answer is this: Bachmann, Digne, Trent, Salah, Fernandes, Sarr, Cavani, Antonio, Tony. So who does that leave? Buendia and Wan-Bissaka. Well, Wan-Bissaka is going to probably become Shaw. So Shaw is probably going to be in my team. And Buendia, it's I think a 60-40 call, but it's all down to this Grealish talk. If Grealish does end up going to Man City, then it does concern me. Aston Villa's, I know Karma Baby will attest to this. I know we've spoken about it last night. But there was some weird anomalies last year regarding Jack Grealish and Aston Villa, and the fact that basically without Grealish, Aston Villa do not win. They may get the odd draw, but they don't win. In fact, I wonder actually. Oh, I wonder if I could. I wonder. Does anybody know here in the chat when Grealish got injured roughly? Anybody at all? Because I wouldn't mind having a look at that and seeing. Right, Aston Villa. Here we go, lads. So, Aston Villa fixtures last year. Okay, does anybody know roughly, Karma Baby, roughly, do you know when he got injured approximately? Because there does seem to be a set of results here which kind of like prove that point. So the 13th of February, between the 13th of February up to the 16th of May, they won 3 games. They drew 1, 2, 3, 4. They drew 5, and they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They lost 6. So their results were Sheffield United 1, Aston Villa 0, Aston Villa 0, Wolves 0, Newcastle 1, Aston Villa 1, Aston Villa 0, Tottenham 2, Aston Villa 3, Fulham 1, Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 1, Aston Villa 1, Man City 2, Aston Villa 2, West Brom 2, Everton 1, Aston Villa 2, Aston Villa 1, Man United 3, and then 0-0 for Everton. They then lost to Crystal Palace 3-2, but then I'm assuming Jack Grealish kind of came back on the 19th of May, where on the 19th of May they got a 2-1 victory against Tottenham. They beat Chelsea 2-1. Right, okay. So they won 2-1 against Tottenham, 2-1 against Chelsea, and they were the last 2 games of the season. So we score 0.9 points per game without Grealish. Right, okay. He was out for a third of the season, basically. Right, okay, that's interesting. Around December, I thought. Right, okay, well, wow. Certainly you can tell that there's something that happened here, because you can just... Yeah, that's really interesting. If that is the case, when he did get knocked out. But yeah, certainly without Jack Grealish. So the Buendia pick may become God knows who, basically. It may become Bowen. Potentially. Just to get that player in who essentially has some decent fixtures. But it means doubling up on... I doubt he'll be a big miss this time with Buendia and potentially another creative player behind. Yeah, but we want to kind of get the ball rolling immediately, don't we, Semi, with their first 3 opening fixtures. They're just too good to ignore. And then it's just gone. And I think it certainly is worth the punt on the Aston Villa. Morning, Zane. Question mark over Maddison. I'm just not interested in Leicester until I start seeing... I mean, Maddison himself kind of tailed off, didn't he, towards the end of last season when he came back. I know he was injured and stuff. But from what I remember, wasn't really returning that much. But Harvey Barnes is the one which I'm really, really interested in. Really interested in Harvey Barnes, depending on the setup. Of course, Mags last night was talking about this Daka, but by all accounts, I don't think that Daka will be starting for Leicester anytime soon. I think he'll be eased in. But yeah, Karma Baby has sent in his team. Let's bring it up. It should be up on the screen now. Hooray! It's there. So let's make it bigger or whatever. So here's Karma Baby. This is Harbour Boys' team. Harbour Boys' team is here. And let's read it out for anybody listening on audio. We've got Sanchez in goal. Oh, okay. Considering what he's just said here, here's my team, but probably not much to talk about because most of it's reasonably template, I think. I don't think the defence is Chilwell and Kufal. Don't really see Kufal or Chilwell in many teams. It's beautiful picks though. And I'm assuming that you're going down the route of rotation pairings. So when Chelsea's fixtures kind of change, West Ham's fixtures kind of change, you've got the likes of Ben White there, Ayling to come in for them. Although I always say this, benching a premium, never bench a premium defender, ever. I think that benching a premium is a really, really bad idea for anybody because they always seem to pop up with any form of return. Kufal, yeah, very attacking. We all know what he can do. He loves bombing up the wing and everything. So David Moyes sticks to his usual plan of a 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1 or whatever. Kufal could be going. I mean, what is he? 5 million. Really, really good price. Really, I thought he was a bit cheap. I thought he would have come in at 5.5, same as Cresswell. But no, he's coming at 5 million. I think it's a really good pick. Trent, we don't need to talk about Salah, yeah, whatever. Son, I'm just finding Son. He's appearing he seems to be appearing in more and more teams as we move along, getting closer and closer. I mean, we are only 13 days away. In fact, there it is on. Well, I can see it anyway. 13 days to go until the start of the season. In fact, today would be the first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. If you remember, we will be having today, for example, today in 13 days, it'll be Man United and Leeds, first match, 12:30. And then we've got at 3 o'clock where myself and Jason will be covering Burnley Brighton, Chelsea Crystal Palace, Everton versus Southampton, Leicester Wolves, Watford Aston Villa. So what's that? That's 5 games at 3 o'clock. It's going to be cool. We all kick off on Friday evening. Brentford versus Arsenal at 8 o'clock. We'll be doing a. I don't think we'll be live streaming the match. I don't know what the plan is, but certainly we are going to be, like a lot of people, going to be live streaming on the day. Deadline day. We'll be back. But yeah, Brentford Arsenal kicking all things off, and then the following day, Man United versus Leeds. Then, like I say, the 3 o'clock kickers are back. I can't tell you how happy I am that we've got some normal scheduling back. I think it just makes it so much more enjoyable. And we've got no games that are on like at 8, 9 o'clock at night or whatever. Wasn't there a game last year that was like at 9 o'clock at night or something? Admittedly, that was a bit of an anomaly. But yeah, Norwich, Liverpool. And then on Sunday, Newcastle, West Ham, Spurs versus Man City. But yeah, talking of Sun and Spurs. So as Ryan Seachin said in one of the messages on YouTube, this is a player who every year since 2016-17 season has got a minimum of 2,000 minutes. His minutes have gone up and up and up each season. We all know how, clinical he is. We all know how much of a role. What's the word? Completely forgotten the word. Talisman. Always wanting to score goals, always wanting to create. 14. These are goals. So since 2016-17, 14, 12, 12, 11, 17. 17 was last season. And then assists, it's getting more and more. So 9, 8, 8, 13 and 11. This is a player who, is averaging, around the 200, just under 200 points a season. He's 10 million. Fixtures under a new manager. So we've got to bear that in mind. New manager. How will he fit into a system? Nobody knows. Man City, Wolves, Watford, Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Newcastle. Based on Nuno's basic approach of hitting on the counter, certainly how he did it at Wolves, it's the bigger teams that, if you remember, it was the bigger teams that he had most success with. Wasn't that Nuno's biggest kind of downfall for him? And not to get fired, but just like one of the biggest criticisms of why they didn't push on is because they struggled against the likes of Burnley, Crystal Palace, etc. It's because he couldn't break these teams down. Whereas like against the likes of Man City, I mean, he always used to love playing Arsenal. And even against Man City, they got some decent results. At least scored against them, at least. I remember them being quite high-scoring games as well. Quite a few 3-2s there, especially at Molineux. Molineux seemed to be a place where Nuno loved to play these bigger teams. And yeah, so Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal in the opening 6 is going to be really interesting to see how he does there. I know that Tottenham fans, basically James from Planet FPL is a bit apprehensive about what he's expecting from the team. It could be another negative approach, but yeah, I'm personally going to be fascinated by how he approaches the likes of Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal. I'm expecting quite tight games. If I'm predicting that Man City at home, Nuno's probably going to wake. He's probably going to want to make, I was going to say Molineux then, White Hart Lane, a fortress. Get the home a fortress. I'm expecting that to be a really, really tight game. 2-1 City, 1-1, 1-0. Just a goal. I mean, Lino, if you're watching, tell us. I'm expecting that to be a goal in it, in that game. Of course, in favour of Man City. Man City do like to play Tottenham. So, yeah, I'm expecting that to be a really tight game, but Man City just edging it. Wolves away, of course. Nuno back at Wolves. Up against this, Bruno Lager. I think that's going to be a really, really cool and interesting tactical battle between them two. Watford, Crystal Palace. Again, hearing a lot of talk about Son being a really good option in game week 3. But how does he fit into Nuno's plans or formation or system or strategy, whatever you want to call it? I don't know. I'm not a football affiliate or whatever to know how he's going to fit in. But certainly for me, he's a hard worker and he's always wanting to just go for goal. So I think Son over the course of the season will continue getting these double-digit hauls. Obviously, there's news on Kane. We're still waiting on what's going on there. The likes of talk of Man City, with £160 million. I really do hope he goes to Man City. I really, really do. If he doesn't, obviously, Nuno, we all know what he did with Jimenez. Jimenez was just a phenomenal striker for Wolves, and obviously the main talisman. I think he'll be telling Kane to just stay up top, really, and I think the fullbacks then will become a really, really interesting option from Tottenham's point of view, but obviously it's a wait and see. It's why I love Dread's opinion about looking at different managers coming in, and we don't know anything about them, how they're going to fit in. It's why there's some apprehension about Everton. How is Rafa Benitez going to approach this? But you can't ignore their fixtures. I think having a minimum of one defender from Everton is really good. But certainly with Son, I personally think the money could be spent elsewhere. That's just my opinion. Certainly from your point of view, Harbour Boy. And it's interesting to see that you've got no Fernandes. Now, you're a player that likes to play it quite safe, I like to say. You are certainly somebody that likes to play the game quite safe. And for you not going into the season without Fernandes, is genuinely very, very interesting. Son has outperformed his expected goals and assists in every single full season, says Semi-Sweet Potato. Quite remarkable. Yes, it is. It is quite remarkable. But at the end of the day, you've got to put the ball in the back of the net. That's footballers' job role. It's to score more goals than the opponent. That's the reality of it. And for me personally, I don't. That statistics like that, I don't give two shits about. Hey, first swear word. I forgot. Members, I am allowed to swear. What's that? Almost an hour into the members stream, I've actually used a swear word. Swear word? Is that a swear word? Shit. I don't give two stuffs about it. It's stats like that I really couldn't care less about. I'm more interested in, well, hold on a minute here, Semi. You know, this guy in each season has got double-digit goals since 2016-17, and he's got a minimum of 8 assists. The last 2 seasons, he's got double digits for assists. Now, again, you could argue different managers. He was used in certain different ways. You are completely right, but overall, based on what I'm hearing from James and others, it would appear that Son could be a really good option. But yeah, I am surprised, Harbour Boy, that there is no Fernandes in that team whatsoever, as someone, like I said, who is willing to kind of go a bit safety approach. But this is why we love fantasy football. Rafinha. Okay, you're going to start with Rafinha. Buendia, we've already spoke about. Rafinha is an interesting one. We all know how good a player he is for Leeds. But it's just those opening couple of fixtures. I am also going to be interested to see if Bielsa is going to start like he did last year. How he ended last year. Last year, Leeds, if I just quickly look at their results. So, if I bring them up on my screen. Leeds. Come on, get up. Yeah, in fact, that is quite extraordinary. In fact, here's a question for chat. Here's a question for you guys. So between the 13th of March up to the final day of the season, which was the 23rd of May, how many games did Leeds win? How many games did Leeds win between the 13th of March and the 23rd of May? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, that's 9, 10. That's 11 games. How many of the 11 games did Leeds win? Come on, chat. This is a question for you guys. How many goals games did Leeds win for the kind of the final 10 of the season? Come on, chat. Don't let me down. Come on, members. I know you're there. I think the thing may be a bit behind at the moment. But and admittedly, you could, if you really, really wanted to, cheat in theory. And there may be some people there watching this live right now who are screaming the answer. Semi-Sweet Potato straight in there with 7. The answer is 7, yes. I don't know if you knew that or not. They won 7. They drew 3 and they lost 1 game. That is incredible. And if you remember about Leeds last year, you know, their opening God knows how many matches were just goals. In fact, here's another question for you. Since February the 14th, so Valentine's Day, since then, they beat Arsenal. No, they lost to Arsenal 4-2. They then lost to Wolves 1-0. And then since then, they went on an incredible run. So, in fact, clearly something happened. I don't know what, but clearly something happened between The 3rd of February, they lost 2-1 to Everton. They then beat Crystal Palace 2-0. Then they lost to Arsenal and Wolves. They then beat Southampton. They lost another 2 games in a row. And then they drew with Leeds 0-0. They drew with Chelsea 0-0. And then on that, since then, they went on a 6-game unbeaten run. Winning 3 and drawing 3. They lost to Brighton 2-0. And then the last 4 games of the season, they won. 3-1 against Tottenham, 4-0 against Burnley, 2-0 against Southampton, 3-1 against West Brom, sorry. So, from what I vaguely remember, Leeds certainly were a team that were a bit different. Admittedly, wasn't Rafinha injured or something like that? So, Semi-Sweet saying the centre-backs came back from injury, okay. Morning, Denver. Just woke up from night shift. Saw Steve-O streaming. We'll watch when I'm... yeah. Cheers, dude. So, yeah, Rafinha's an interesting one. I know how good he is as a player. I think that, with the opening fixtures, a lot of people have mentioned this. And it's all stating the blinking obvious. But certainly with Leeds' opening fixtures being... within reason, difficult. Are they fixture proof? Probably. Rafinha. Oh, Man United, Everton. Man U is the tough game. I think that again is going to be a tight game. It's not going to be as open as what people think. Everton at home, really interesting. It's going to be a very interesting battle between Benitez and Bielsa. Burnley away. I think that's there's going to be a few goals in that. Liverpool at home. Again, very, very tough. Then after that, between game weeks 5 up to 10, some beautiful fixtures. Newcastle, West Ham, Watford, Southampton, Wolves, Norwich. This is why for me personally, Buendia could be an easy swap for essentially Rafinha in game week 4. Admittedly, Rafinha would be at home to Liverpool, but depending on how well Rafinha does, because this is the thing as well, we all forget about price rises. If for argument's sake, if Rafinha against United was to, score a goal, he's gone to 6.6 that night. And I'm hoping this season, actually, the prices aren't as volatile. Last season was ridiculous. I mean, it seemed like prices were going up really quickly, but weren't going down. I didn't quite get that, if I'm honest with you. I didn't quite understand why it was so aggressive. Are we booking transfers already by having Rafinha, Harrison in our teams instead of Buendia and Sarr? Just asking. Well, this is what I'm mentioning, Denver. I'm surprised that Harbour Boy's gone with Rafinha to start with, because like I said, he plays it quite safe, within reason. Harbour Boy's a very, very good fantasy player. It's what you get when you listen to 25 fantasy podcasts. But in all seriousness, you are completely right. It is a case of, we always keep forgetting that we are allowed to transfer out players. It's not Sky Fantasy, although you can do whatever you want in FPL. And in this specific case, I think that maybe getting rid of Rafinha and bringing in, the likes of Sarr for argument's sake. Let's have a quick look at 6.5 midfielders out there. Just again, purely based on what Harbour Boy has done with his team. So, all players, 6.5 midfielders. Here we go. So, stupid system that is. Harrison, tops it. Okay, it's Dallas, but he was a defender. So Harrison tops it. He's 6 million. Ward-Prowse. Not going to be looking at Ward-Prowse. Susek. I apologise. I think it may have been Vince that just said about Susek. He'd prefer Susek, I'm assuming, over Bowen. Well, interestingly enough, Bowen is only 6 points. Bowen is only 6 points behind Susek. Make of that what you will. Traore of Aston Villa, no one's going to touch. I'll tell you what, now this is a player. Bookmark, in fact, here we go. What are we, an hour in? An hour into the show. Here we go, let's bookmark this, shall we? So we're an hour in. Tielemans. Now, Tielemans, towards the end of last season, did exceptionally well. Exceptionally well. We all know how well he did in his first season, or the first half of when he came in the 2018-19, the second half, whatever, 3 goals, 5 assists. Second season, syndrome kicked in. 3 goals, 6 assists. Very disappointing. Then the following season, he scored, or last year, 6 goals, 4 assists. However, I think 3 of those goals came in like the last 10 fixtures. And of the 4 assists, again, I think the majority came in the last 10. So Tielemans at 6.5. You know, people are going on about Harvey Barnes. People are going on about Maddison. Tielemans. I can't quite understand the 6.5 price, and I would have thought 7 million along with Maddison Barnes would have been appropriate. But, you know, tell you what, we're an hour into the show, an hour and 2 minutes. Tielemans could be a really, really, really good option. Wolves, West Ham, Norwich, Man City. But again, I don't think it worries Tielemans as much. Brighton, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Man U. There are worser options. You know, like I said, Wolves are a very tough game, but West Ham ain't that bad. Norwich ain't that bad either. And we all know Leicester's away record, admittedly, again, take into account it was a certain problem season last year. Tielemans is great. He scored exactly the same amount of points as Rafinha. Rafinha, just to remind people, an incredible goals scored, 6, assists 10, 2,300 minutes. Extraordinary. So we all know what Rafinha can bring. And then you're looking at the likes of Trossard. Who gives us stuff about Trossard? Despite, to be fair again, very good opening fixtures, as we know, with Brighton, Burnley, Watford, Brentford, Crystal Palace in their opening 6. How much is he? 6.5. Guaranteed starter for Brighton as well. Within reason. Last season, 5 goals, 6 assists. Eze, no one's interested in. Fornells, no one's interested in. Neto's injured. You know, and it just gets worse and worse and worse when it comes to the 6.5 bracket. So maybe, Harbour Boy, there are some options out there which, you know, like I said, the likes of Trossard and Tielemans, Bowen, those 3 alone could be, based on fixtures, could be a slightly better pick than Rafinha. Could be. I think that there's something to look at there. Colin Bowen last season played as a makeshift forward, false 9 due to injuries. I don't think he'll play in the rat role this season. Plus at the same price, Rafinha, I don't see his appeal at all. It's fixtures. That's all it is. All it is, Colin, it's the fixtures. And to be fair to Bowen, like, I'm trying to think. Whoops, wrong button again. To be fair to Bowen, you know, last season, 2,500 minutes. I would argue he made a lot of substitute appearances. Not full minutes here or there. Lingard kind of like, you know, stole the spotlight off him on the pitch. I remember owning Bowen, and it was one of those where the second I brought him in, he started getting substituted off early, not starting. I think once Bowen gets a good run of minutes and is essentially giving them freedom in a way like Lingard was, I think Bowen could be a genuinely a good option. I really do. I think he could be an excellent option. So yeah, Harbour Boy, I think there are some other, in my opinion, just to start with in the opening 2 fixtures, could be better options than Rafinha. But again, as stated, his price could... Rafinha, I agree with you. Rafinha is fixture-proof karma. That is true. Brent Deer, we've already spoken about Cavani, Watkins and Tony for the rest of the team. So the bench is quality as well. Ayling. Oh, that's interesting. You've gone with 2 rotating goalkeepers. Or 2 playing goalkeepers and Backman and Sanchez. I didn't notice that. Now, that is an interesting thing you've done there, Harbour Boy. That is interesting. I wonder if you've got like a plan for that. I wonder. But yeah, I'm going to look at Vince's team because I know he posted it last night in the team screenshots, which is here. Load up. Come on. Be a man. Does anybody know what that's off? Be a man. Where did you post it, Vince? I know for a fact you posted it because I saw your icon in there yesterday. Come on, where are you? Where are you? As thing you used to say. Oh, I might look at semi-sweet. In fact, while semi-sweet potatoes here, let's have a look at semi-sweet potatoes team. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that transition there. My team, semis. My team, semis. Do you know this joke, Harbour Boy? Semis. Stop that. So, this is semi-sweet potatoes team. We mentioned Meslier. Meslier in goal. I'm assuming that's the backup goalkeeper in Virginia. No, it's not. Okay, never heard of that player. Kufal, so it's a 4-3-3. Kufal, Webster, Robertson, Kufal, Trent, Robertson, Webster, Rafinha, Salah, Fernandez, Watkins, Tony, Wilson, and then we got Shaw on the bench. Oh, semi. I don't know about that. As I keep stating, I think that playing assets which play for premium teams usually bites people in the bum. Usually. Certainly did with me. That's why I refuse. For instance, wasn't it last season Aspilicueta I had? And they had Man City and he got an assist or something. I can't remember specifically what he did. But certainly, benching Shaw for Webster. I'm assuming this is based on, let's be honest here, what do we call it? This is based on fixtures and if Shaw's going to be fit or not. Morning, Cape. But yeah, Kafal we've already spoken about. Trent, Robertson. It's a lot of people are looking at this Trent Robertson double up. Triple Liverpool with Salah. It's one of those where if it pays off big, you could be really climbing the ranks. However, and I'm stating the blinking obvious, if Liverpool's supposed poor start to the season regarding clean sheets continues, it could be very, very, very difficult for yourself to essentially keep strong and hold on to these assets, because we all know that the likes of Trent and Robertson throughout the whole season are going to get you at least 150 to 200 points at least. So they're really almost season keepers, but you've got to be really, really strong with this game week 1 to 5. And if they don't perform, your finger's going to be over the button. Do I press it? Do I not? Do I get rid of it? It's a horrible, horrible situation to have. But you know what? It's all great. And we got a new... Greckler, you're not a new member. I'm assuming you've just Resubscribed, I think the word is. Cheers, dude. Welcome. You can now speak in the chat if you want. You can upload your team if you want. Members chat. Members chat in the Discord. But welcome, pal. But yeah, do like that 3 though, to be fair. Webster, as you've just mentioned there, it's all based on injury concerns. Yeah, that's fine. I agree. That's what I just said. I think that's probably it. Rafinha spoke to him about Salah, Fernandes. It's a very this is what I would have thought actually. Harbour Boy would be going down the route of this safety first approach. Your picks of Meslier isn't a risk, but it's going against the norm. Most people are going with either Sanchez. This is Twitter / FPL. Let's call it the FPL community. FPL community template here, but all right, okay, Vince. All right, Vince, we'll bring you on in a minute. Just bear with us, Vince, and we'll bring you on. Can you post your team in the members chat, please, Vince? But yeah, Meslier goes against the grain. But yeah, I think it's a really good pick, as mentioned. He's going to get a good amount of clean sheets next year, and again, it's just staying strong through those tough fixtures. But yeah, great pick. I think there's nothing wrong with going with small risks, so to speak, in the game week 1 team. So long as you've got the majority of what people own, I think that's the best way to play it. You've got no random out of nowhere picks there. I think, to be honest with you, Semi, I think it was really gonna be. I wanted to give some new people. Yeah, that's cool, Semi. I was going to join last night. Yeah, we're going to be doing. Me and Jason are going to be doing plenty of these. So, in fact, gives me the opportunity to say that myself and Jason are going to be probably doing this again, but for the broader spectrum, so to speak. So it'd be something like Wednesday afternoon, give or take. Please don't quote me on that. We'll have to get back to you. But unfortunately, as I said to Jason last night, I've for the next 4 weeks, give or take, I'm working 6 days out of 7. They are all early morning, so it kind of puts a bit of a spanner in the works regarding doing a more stream with Jason. But certainly we'll be doing this in the near future. So, but yeah, Semi, I like that team. I think it's great. But let's hold on a minute. I just need to. Let's see if Vince has put his team in the. Vince, make sure that you put your team in the members chat, please, and then we'll be able to bring it up on the screen. Oh, here it is. Here, it's in front of me. Right, okay. Let's bring on Vince. I think we'll this will be the last team to look at. I've enjoyed this stream. It's been good. It's been the last team to look at. I just need to get on air, turn it round, and we'll be able to talk to Vince about his team. Hello, Vince. Hello there. Is he there? Come on, Vince. Speak to us. Speak to the people that are here. Yes, we can hear noise. We can hear static. Vince, are you there? I'll deliberately keep that down. Oh, he's going off. This is Vince's team up on screen, everybody. Just to let you know. We've got Sanchez, Agol, Kafal, Trent, Digne, Veltman, Fernandes, Salah, Buendia, Calvert-Lewin, Cavani, and Nacho. It's a very, very, very different front three with Dallas, Brownhill, Manquillo on the bench. Vince, are you there? All we can hear is static. Come on, pal. Speak to us. You're an expert on this. Hold on a minute. I need to bring him back on. Vince, are you there? He's speaking, but there's no sound. Hey there. Right, now I can turn you up. That can go away. Talk to us again, Vince.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now we can bring your team up, turn it round, and away we go. There's not much, to be honest with you, I can talk to you about your team because it is pretty much what we've been looking at for the last 24 hours. However, talk to us about your front three, specifically Calvert-Lewin, the choices of Calvert-Lewin and Iheanacho. I haven't seen. Ironically, everybody was banging on about Calvert-Lewin, but no one really has got him in their team. So tell us why.
Well, I don't know why no one's got them in their team. I thought this would be the standard front three, and I'm glad to see not really. So it seems my differentials are Iheanacho and potentially Digne and maybe Calvert-Lewin now. Yeah, it's pretty template. I like Iheanacho from last season, and Calvert-Lewin started strong. So they've got good fixtures. I mean, Leicester's fixtures, that's what I want to talk about. People aren't really talking about Leicester much, are they? A couple of Barnes picks, but...
No, well, I mentioned Tielemans. What we all thought, me talking about Tielemans being potentially someone that could be a gem at 6.5, especially...
Not for me. Not for me.
Oh, why is that?
He's too defensive. He's a bit erratic when I watch him play. He's not so gifted on the ball as the others.
So you want
Long shot, not really.
You want to talk about their fixtures? We've got Wolves, West Ham, Norwich, Man City, Brighton, Burnley, Crystal Palace. They're opening 7. You then have Man United, game week 8, Brentford 9, Arsenal 10, Leeds 11. Talk to us. You said you want to talk about their fixtures. Not many people are. Why do you want to talk about their fixtures?
Oh, I just think they're being overlooked maybe a little bit. They've got great first 10 fixtures. They're a good, fast attacking team. I think they could be good options. Barnes, Iheanacho, their defenders.
I think the issue a lot of people have is not knowing what the team will be. Essentially, a lot of people are concerned about whether Harvey Barnes starts or not. Obviously, Leicester were really successful, weren't they, last season with their 4-4-2 or whatever formation it was, with Iheanacho and Vardy up top. Do you think that maybe, I mean, I'm maybe throwing a spanner in the works here, or maybe throwing out the most ridiculous statement out there, but maybe Vardy could have lost his place and Iheanacho stays up front of his top, and he will have Barnes, Maddison and Tielemans behind Iheanacho, or am I going mad?
Well, I mean, one of these days Vardy's got to retire, but I don't think it's this year. No chance, I don't think.
No, they were saying about this Daka from wherever he's from, and saying what a quality striker he is, but they think that he's gonna be the apprentice to Vardy and Iheanacho, essentially.
Yeah, he was 25 mil. He's on the bench.
More of a Europa
And
League
over 40 mil or 50 mil, then I'd be worried. But no, I don't think so.
No,
They do need backup for one of their strikers if they get injured, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people going on Everton. I think a lot of people are avoiding Everton because they're worried about Rafa Benitez. But it just doesn't bother you at all.
Oh, I think Benitez is a good one because he's quite a defensive manager, so he'll come in, maybe play a back 5. I think even Holgate's an option at 4.5 or 4 mil. 4.5, yeah. So I was looking at him. If he plays a back 5, he's a good option. He's quite attacking as well. Everton, yeah, they're good. They'll have their full midfield when they had Alan and whoever plays in the hole there, maybe Rodriguez. Very good attacking team, and if he's got enough time to train them, then balls, they'll just get in the box, Calvert. He'll play the same way, get it on the head. That's it, good goal. So yeah, they're a good option as well. But I'm looking forward to Man United, to be honest.
Tell us why.
That's the real team. I support Man United, or labelly I support Man United. I haven't called myself a supporter in 5 years, but yeah, I support them again, so that's good. And their just attacking options are incredible.
Yeah, we had a Booner on the show last night, and he's in the same dilemma as me. It's Greenwood. If I knew Greenwood was going to start, I would have him in my team. Thoughts on Greenwood?
Oh, Greenwood will start. I mean, don't know if he'll start Sancho on the left, so Greenwood might play on the left. That's the only thing. And then on his right foot, crossing from his left foot. Oh, you hear me?
Yeah, I do hear you, Vince. And, they're opening 4 fixtures: Leeds, Southampton, Wolves, Newcastle. You could even argue West Ham, Aston Villa. You can't ignore those fixtures whatsoever.
I think people going without Bruno, that's another thing I wanted to talk about, that's insane.
Oh, tell Harbour Boy. You tell Harbour Boy now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to come on and back up Bruno a little bit, because Bruno, he felt, what is the word, I don't know, but he tailed off at the end of the last season because Ollie overplayed him. He overplayed everyone, he didn't change his team, and it's happened 2 seasons in a row, so I knew it was going to happen again, and I didn't blame Bruno. And then he had a bad Euros, actually didn't really play, so that's, 2 weeks off there, and another 3 weeks off, and he's going to be hungry with better players around him. Oh man, he could get 20 pointers in one of those 4 games.
Yeah, I think that Harbour Boy is. I mean, there's nothing wrong with picking Son as an example, but I think that going for somebody.
Right, but that's the other option then. Look, if Kane goes to City and Son's trying to look, Brew was telling me their team the other night. I nearly cried for him. He was saying they're going to play Dyer and Sancho in the middle with Ndombele and Sissoko and maybe Dele Alli behind them, and then I don't know who they're going to have on the wings to try and pass Son the ball, because they usually hoof it up to Kane, he controls it and gives it to Son. So they can't do that now. So, and how's Son going to get the ball? I don't know. So he might be a good option. He's the only man, but I don't know how they're going to get it to him.
Cape FPL is saying Martial still injured, Rashford is out, Greenwood should start unless Pogba starts on the left wing. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, well, I would have thought this whole thing, it seems like they're engineering a team around Pogba and his best position, which should be in that midfield slot.
Yeah, Pogba's an interesting one. He's what, 6.5 or something like that?
This is what I wanted to mention. Yeah, Pogba, what a great option. He's probably the top of the list there, and that 6.5 for me.
It is a fascinating one where this pre-season really is going to be one of the ones to really be keeping an eye on.
You can't really see it with these players because they're coming back. All of these players who did well in the Euros are going to have 1 week in pre-season, I think one last game. So they'll train and then you might get to see them 20, 30 minutes. And then they have to play a full game. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And Luke Shaw has got him in their team, but he's had cracked ribs in the Euros. So that's like at least 8 weeks out. So he might miss the first 3 by my reckoning.
Yeah, are you excited, Sancho, being at your team, and how do you think he's going to impact on United this season?
Not really excited because apparently we were scouting him for 3 years before the 2 years we didn't buy him. So now it's 5 years that we've had to wait for this. So I'm not excited, but I'll look forward to it when he gets there. Yeah, I'll enjoy it when it happens, yeah.
I'm going to be fascinated. I mean, there's a lot of talk of people going Sanchez over Fernandes instead, and they're all saying, look what I could do with the extra 2.5 million. What do you say to those people, Vince?
Well, I don't say anything, but it's nice to. That's what I was looking at the other day. It's nice to watch the show and see everyone's different outlooks and thinking on the same situation. So it's like different ways of doing things and spending the same amount of money. It's interesting, but going without Fernandes, and you said with Sancho and who?
You're able to say again.
Who was the other player that they're going with instead of Bruno?
It would be something like words to the effect of like using that money to get Kane as an example. So
yeah, that's a straight switch though for me. If he goes City, everyone's going to have Kane, and Grealish now he'll probably go.
Do you think he's worth? Kane goes to City. Do you think he's worth the 12.5? Because for me, it's a wait and see. I know that Kane is genuinely a world-class striker. I get that, but I just think there are going to be other players potentially that could match his points, possibly.
No chance, no chance. If Kane's a world-class player and then he goes into the team who's in the Champions League final, like one of the best teams in the world with better players around him, not just Son, he's going to have more opportunities to get these. And how clinical is he already? He could get 40 goals in that team.
I think, though, that there are
Grealish, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, the thing is, they're going to go unbeaten this season. That's the challenge for anyone. If they want to beat City, City probably won't lose a game. They might draw 1 or 2, but
so
that team. Wow.
I know this is FPL and we all choose our teams based on fixtures. So you've just said about Man City being essentially freaks of nature. They're probably going to, they potentially could go the season unbeaten. Why no Man City in your team then?
Okay, Pep, innit? I've been doing it for 2 years now, and it's just I can't deal with that guy anymore. Maybe when they got a good run, I've seen a couple of their fixtures. I've seen how if he's playing a standard team, or he'll change it. Yeah. I think he plays FPL, you know, because he's just signing these players just before the window, just to ruin everyone's FPL teams. That's what I feel. He does these weird things in the middle of the season. And these substitutions, I still remember 2 seasons back, he bought off Carl Walker. He was on for a 15-pointer, I think, against Sheffield or something. And he took him off like 1 minute after the injury time. So there's 4 minutes injury time. And he took him off 1 minute to the end of that. And we lost all those points. And yeah, he's the problem with City, really.
Probably because I had Kyle Walker at the time. I can't remember. I vaguely remember that, to be honest. I mean, are you?
Oh, that was the same time. What's his name? The defender got 15 points or 21 points, and he said, it doesn't matter. Everyone's got him. And me and Phil were in the chat like, no, because we had him on our bench and he didn't come on. So, yeah, you were so ungrateful for those points.
Are you? I mean, I'm stating the blinking obvious. I'm asking the stupid question, really. But as we get closer and closer, we're 13 days away from the first 3 o'clock kickoffs. We'll be approaching now 2 hours away from the Man United versus Leeds game. But from an FPL perspective, next season, obviously with the Rivals League that we've created, I think it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, and I think there's going to be a lot of stories told with the next 9 months. How excited are you for the following season, being part of this channel, essentially?
Well, I mean, I came in late to the last night's stream, so I missed the first hour, and I rewatched it. Like, I looped it around like a Tarantino film, and I watched the end to the beginning. And then I really understood this league thing, and it's like you basically recreated the Torbay Elite League with fierce rivalry between people who know each other. And it's a core starting group who is going to get bigger. More people join and subscribe and be part of Discord and join the conversations and spend more time on it together. I think it's going to be incredible because, you want to beat people like Paul Lee and Firetog and Harbour Boy and Buffy.
This is
he'll have, like, we were surprised to see Joe Nicholson's team because he's had like 3 Arsenal in his team all pre-season. Pepe, and I got to have Smith Rowe, and I got to have Ben White, and then no Arsenal in his team last night.
Okay, Dread FPL is somebody that's highlighting Smith Rowe as a really good option, maybe just for, even if it's just game week 1. He's 5.5. Dan was with FPL Penguin on a little video he did for Instagram and also on Penguin's YouTube channel, and he was going on about certain Arsenal assets to basically avoid like the plague. He was saying, Jason is someone that also cannot stand Arsenal, specifically from an asset point of view. This Joe Nicholson, you say he's an Arsenal fan?
Yeah. Lovely guy.
Yeah, it's the same as my mate Marlon at work. He's got a Aubameyang in his team because he's a Aubameyang.
What?
Yeah, precisely. It's crazy. And in fact, I'll tell you what I'll do, right? So most people that are watching this now, I'm not picking on Marlon. I'm going to deliberately voice message Marlon now. Where is Marlon?
Like when you say before a sentence, no offense, but
I can't believe it. That's embarrassing. I do this a lot. I delete lots of conversations on my WhatsApp. Damn it. So I can't actually show the team. But it was what you would call a casual player team. So you've got the classic players like what you and I have got, which is pretty much give or take the same team. Same as Karma Baby, same as Semi Sweet Potato, same as Jason. It's just the odd.
I don't know. My team's totally different from all you guys. I mean, your team's. I looked at it and it looked like there's Wally. It's just
Trent Dina, Fernandez, Salah, Buendia, Cavani. So that's what,
right,
4, 5, 6 players the same as mine.
It's going to be standard. That's why I said in one of your last streams, it's going to be like 6 to 7 players of the same players, and then there's going to be the others are differentials. But there's a lot of good options this year, to be honest. 6.5, 7.5 strikers. I'm going strikers rather than midfielders, like lots of people are going Greenwood and midfielders. I just think these strikers are a bit more proven. I like to go with proven guys that I can trust, that I know what they're going to do. Like if I know Iheanacho is going to get the ball and he gets it at a certain point, I know he's going to finish it. Whereas Tony, I don't know about that guy. And he looked a bit, he didn't look like he had the best touch, but he apparently got a lot of goals last year. So it's an unknown quantity for me. I don't want to risk that.
No, I don't get me wrong. I think certainly the likes of the FPL General, they do say about don't go anywhere near the likes of promoted players, no matter how good they were in the Championship. Avoid them like the plague, because exactly what you just said, they're an unknown quantity. We don't know what they're going to do. But he says, which is another very valid point, it's because quite a lot of people are going with Tony in the first place. It would be madness to essentially not own him, especially if you're like a top quality player of the likes of FPL General, if you're Andy, Let's Talk FPL, Mark Southerns, whoever these top quality players are. But I think that you're completely right with your thought process. You know, Iheanacho and Calvert-Lewin are proven in the Premier League along with Cavani. So
to match them anyway, I don't think I have to own Tony because other people have got Tony. I just think Iheanacho is going to outscore him. Therefore, I got Iheanacho. I paid the extra mil. And I got him, so he just has to cover Tony for me.
I see a lot of people are doing 4 at the back. There's quite a lot of drafts that we're seeing that are all like 4 defenders at the back and stuff. I mean, I'll ask you the question as soon as you're live on air. How likely is this going to be your game week 1 team, and how likely are you going to be going 4 at the back?
Oh, well, there's not really 4 at the back. It's interchangeable. I've got Dallas there. He's in midfield. I got a spot for a 5.5 where I can take
Dallas, come on. I mean, he's not really... Well, you're not really going to be playing Dallas.
I couldn't get an extra 0.5 for Harrison. That's the only thing. I just can't squeeze it out.
Have you not thought about someone like... I mean, I know we've just slated him, but someone like Smith Rowe instead?
I just thought about it now in this stream as we were talking about it. It just went in one ear and out the other, really. So
no, that's
I do get their point. He's playing at number 10. They've got no one else playing there. It's Arsenal, great fixtures, first 10. I mean... They should be doing something, that attack in front 3. Maybe Aubameyang does turn up. I mean, but he does pull the strings, so he should be closer to the penalty box. 5.5, very good option. Yeah, I'll consider it.
How are you set on Kafal? Because maybe you could drop him down to a 4.5 and then upgrade. No?
He's one way. No, I love Kafal. I'm a bit upset I don't have Souček in my team. I had him for like 3 weeks.
What is this?
I'm scared of Souček.
I see that you were going on about Souček in the chat. What is your loving with Souček?
Well, it's another one that I trust from last season, basically, and just his numbers. He got 9 goals, I think 2 assists, but Rice was the big factor there because Rice used to sit in and he used to bomb forward, and he used to go forward a lot. I mean, I've never seen someone in the box so much, and it's just like you're supposed to be holding the midfield, dude. And yeah, always in the box, free kicks, corners, comes in late, so then he's very good on the ball. Very attacking. I think he's one of the best options for me. Him, Pogba. Obviously, I've got Buendia. Buendia will be Rafinha later on. But yeah.
Who, in your opinion, of the calls that we've had, of the teams that you've been seeing, who do you think is the player where you're just like, why would you want to own him? Is it Tony? Is it Sarr? Is it
Bowen?
Bowen, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I know. You still love him from last season. I saw it. I had a little chuckle. It's like, oh, he's on Bowen again. It's like, I don't know about Bowen. I think Lingard made a big factor, and like someone said before, Antonio was out, so he played a bit higher up, and he was had more responsibility to produce more. I think he's a bit timid. He's very fast. Yeah, he's a good option. I think there's better, personally.
Yeah, Vince, we'll let you go. I want to get going. We all want to get going out here. But have you got anything final to say before we clear off?
Yeah, just the thing that I'm looking forward to most next season is this new Arsenal documentary. That's going to be gold, and that's really going to go off in the Discord. So everyone join the Discord, be part of the new season. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Well, I'm sure Dan will be able to host a stream discussing the Arsenal documentary coming out next year. Is this... Are they... again, I apologise. This is them filming it for this year, and then they're going to be showing episodes throughout the year. Is that right? Yeah,
I think they do it like 6 or something episodes, and then another 3 months later they'll give you the other ones. And they film it, obviously, in the season.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's just going to be fantastic. Like the Tottenham one, like the Man City one, all or nothing.
Well, we'll see if it improves. Yeah?
Oh, I was just going to say, as Mark Goldbridge called it on the United Standards, just should be called All for Nothing because they're literally going to be playing for nothing as well. Them and Tottenham, that's
Yeah,
going to be the fight.
Dan randomly said that he thinks that Arsenal optimistically could get sixth next season. I thought, are you taking the piss?
Well, this surely must be every pre-season. Dan will say something like this to you as an Arsenal fan, like, "Yeah, we're going to do well this season." Or do you not remember that sort of thing?
Well, you've got to remember, and all this convoluted nonsense, when in reality it's Chelsea. In my opinion, it's Chelsea, Man City or United for the title. I'm backing Chelsea myself, but certainly them three.
Well, until City by Kane and Grealish.
Well, yeah. Although Chelsea have got, unless Chelsea go through the whole season unbeaten, along with Man City, and we all know Chelsea have the upper hand on Man City, and Chelsea will be the only team that get points off City. But yeah, you are right. It will be.
But will City not have they'll be like revved up to beat Chelsea this season? They could just smash it out of the park, I think.
They will. Yeah, I do think next season, well, this season upcoming is going to be fascinating regarding Man City and what happens if they do have Kane and Grealish, how they fit into the squad and everything, especially when you've got like the likes of Phil Foden that performed so well, for Man City last year, as well as, from what I gather, England in the Euros. I'd be very disappointed if he doesn't get like a regular starts.
That's pretty much England in the Euros full team there, and you're going to see how a manager rearranges that front four rather than what Southgate did with it. Like Grealish will play, Foden will be on the bench, Kane will be up front, Sterling. I don't even think Sterling will play. Might play on the right.
Oh, interesting. I mean, talking of Man City assets, you got the likes of people. I mean, I'll ask you. You were just talking about Man City here. Mahrez.
For me.
Tell us why.
Again, the pet factor. You don't know if he's going to play or not. They get Grealish. What does that do? Oh, Mahrez could play on the right. Sorry. So Mahrez on the right. Yeah. Grealish on the left. Maybe Foden in the middle.
No Sterling.
I think he'll bench Sterling.
Why do you think that?
Well, he was benching him last season. It was only Southgate who started playing Sterling. He had no season to come off, no statistics. And Southgate played in the full Euros. He did really good. So I don't know if that means Pep's going to play him again.
And on that note, Vince, I'm sure you'll be joining us throughout the rest of the season. And we'll, like you say, enjoy your day, and we'll speak
Thanks
soon.
a lot, buddy. Lovely to speak to you. Pleasure.
No,
Take it easy.
thank you. And we'll catch you later, mate.
Okay, bye.
There is good old Vince Chapman there, very, 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 very long supporter of the show. He's been with us for a very, very long time. Very long time. It's always good, and like he said, next season for regarding the banter and the rivalries that we're going to be created. It is going to be funny because a lot of the people that are going to be part of this league are regulars. You'll all recognise the names. It is going to be fascinating seeing what happens next season, especially by game week 4. Who will be bottom? Will it be me? Will it be Jason? Will it be Vince? Will it be Karma Baby? Will it be Denver? Will it be the Cape FPL? Will it be Semi-Sweet Potato? Who knows? In fact, talking of Semi-Sweet Potato, yes, I was asked to look at the score predictor game. Now, unless I'm going completely mad here, I don't see what's changed. To be honest with you, I'm looking at it here. It looks exactly the same as... Oh, what's this? Select one player per position. How many? What's this? Okay, so this is interesting. Predict your... I think what we'll do is, I think Jason's probably the best person, because I'd rather bring this up on screen. I would personally rather bring this up on screen. So what I'm going to do is I'll let Jason know. Jason may even be watching this now. Him and Semi can speak tech and talk about the score predicting game, because that is something that I really do enjoy playing. I know Maestro was talking about it last night, how I'm looking forward to it. I know Lino is wanting to defend his title for the 3rd season in a row. So yeah, that is interesting, that bottom bit there. So Semi-Sweet can come on live with Jason and talk about the score predictor game. And there will, of course, be more details, not as much details to really give now, out about this new rival mini-league, but it is going to be a lot of fun. And on that note, all I will say is that I really do appreciate you joining me for this special members-only chat. members only chat stream. So members only chat stream. Anybody that's been watching this, appreciate it. If you do enjoy this, to be completely blunt with you, a lot of the members only content I do is specifically aimed at members who talk in the chat. I mean, I'll just quickly show you what the members chat is like. Now, admittedly, it's a bit all over the place at the moment, but and I've completely lost it. Oh, there it is there. Fool. So if I was to bring it up here, there it is there. So a lot of the member chat is mainly just, members talking to each other, but there are a lot of things in there which are directed at myself to talk about on streams, and it's really a more, as I call, a personalised stream / videos. They're always recorded videos, to be honest with you, predominantly, and yeah, it's predominantly streams that are dedicated to these guys, and if these guys ask me any questions, I'll do a special video for them. Quite a lot of people actually enjoy the members videos. We get I can't remember how many members but a good majority of them do pass on feedback about how much they enjoy what myself and Jason. It's a lot of open, honest conversation as well, especially about serious subject matters. Not all necessarily FPL. In fact, a lot of the feedback we get actually is that the members actually sometimes enjoy the fact that we talk absolute bollocks about anything but FPL, to be honest with you. But yeah, a lot of it is personalised videos. So if you want personalised videos for yourself, and you want to support the show, why not consider becoming a member? You just have to hit the join button. Danny boy, we were just talking about you. Me and Vince were just literally just talking about you just now, about your, Arsenal 6th. Now hold on a minute. This is what Dan likes to do. Now hold on a minute. If you disagree with Dan, and it's for instance, I just said it just now, Dan. I just said that you were taking the piss when you mentioned Arsenal could end up 6th. 6th above relegation zone. I think there's more likelihood of Arsenal ending 6 places above relegation. So what does that make it? 10th, 11th? I don't know. I can't do the maths here. Or 6th from bottom than they are actually 6th. But yeah. But they are personalised videos, and I really do enjoy doing them. Like I said, I did one for Dread. It was like just over an hour long, just specifically going into detail about the picks that he chose and everything. So yeah, really, really enjoy doing the members videos, and there are some times when I feel that there are some videos that I like to do rants wise and everything, which are only really appropriate, because actually a lot of the time we do a lot of swearing. Well, I certainly do a lot of swearing in the members videos, because usually it's about something that's just pissed me off, essentially. But you have Ben White now, Steve. Yeah, Arsenal fixtures. I won't be playing him, but for Arsenal's fixtures, yeah, I think he's a very good choice. You cannot deny Arsenal do have a good defence when they want to be, and for decent fixtures, I can't see there being a problem. Arsenal to end 8th again, reclassified as a mid-table team unless they put in the work on the team. There we are, Dan. Denver there, giving you a bit of a kick in the nuts. But I just can't, I think they're just better teams ahead of Arsenal. So obviously we mentioned the 3, Man United, Chelsea, Man City. Then you got Liverpool, so that's 4. Leicester, Tottenham, dare I say. So that's 6 teams alone. So that's a minimum of 7th that I think you're going to come. It's a minimum of 7th. So actually, to be fair, that's not actually that far off, is it, from 6th? So in saying all that, actually, to be fair, Arsenal could potentially be challenging for 6th, in saying all that bollocks that I've just said. It's really fighting out with Tottenham, I think, this season. I think it is going to be between you and Tottenham for that 6th, 7th spot. Yeah, it'll be something like Chelsea to win it, then Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Leicester, Tottenham, Arsenal, Everton. Vince asking, what do you think about the new Arsenal doctor? Anyway, I'm waffling on now. All I will say is that if you do want to support the show in the most basic way and you are new around here, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the stream, if you haven't enjoyed the stream, I couldn't care less. Hit the like button, hit the dislike button, but preferably the like button. But yes, I will catch you soon. Stay tuned for Twitter for news on the next stream that we do, but it is probably going to be around Wednesday afternoon, possibly, and we're going to be doing more of these chats to callers from Discord, talking about your team. So thanks for staying around, and I'll catch you